He's building 2 graveyards. Is that a mistake? I assume so. What the hell is he building 2 graveyards for? And if you want 2 graveyards, at least build the second one like at 6 o'clock. Wow. So Elky's going to do quite good here, just because Nightmare has forgotten to build a graveyard. I assume he's building that graveyard. Well, you need a graveyard for Frenzy, and you also need a graveyard for slaughterhouses if you want to build meat wagons to counter those ancients. This game is kind of confusing for me because there's a lot of stuff going on. It doesn't make much sense usually. So just all ancients here from Elky. That is very, very risky, because if Nightmare had been playing perfectly, he would have had a lot of kills, he would have had Frenzy, and he'd easily be able to take out Elky's main base. At least he's Tree of Ages. There's no way that Elky could stop that from happening. So, well, we're going to see some fun here as these ancients arrive at Nightmare's base. Nightmare is trying to creep. He realises these ancients are on their way, but we're seeing a slaughterhouse just being started. We're seeing all the ziggurats being upgraded. Personally, I think I would not bother upgrading any of this crap. I would save the money and I'd build the slaughterhouses at 6 o'clock. I'd just let that slowly die and try and rebuild as much as I can in other places. Nightmare's kind of doing the right thing. He's getting a second expansion. It's a good idea, very good idea indeed, because Nightmare is fully aware that Elky has absolutely no units and that expansion cannot be under any threat for a long, long time, because those ancients are certainly not going to get there very quick. So he's going to have to cancel that slaughterhouse because the slaughterhouse is being targeted by ancients. And Nightmare's kind of wasting his time running in with ghouls. He should just target heroes and forget everything else. Keeper of the Grove dies. We're seeing Frenzy being researched, but he only has 4 ghouls. So how useful that is going to be, I don't know. He needs to get another crypt at 6 o'clock or something. So the idea here for the undead player would be to basically try and get a couple of slaughterhouses, maybe get 10 ghouls or so. The ghouls would only be for targeting heroes, and get some meat wagons. And if a hero comes within range, a Night Elf hero, then just target it with ghouls, kill it, then retreat from the ancients and keep microing the meat wagons. So Nightmare here is targeting the ancients. Personally, I would try and target that Demon Hunter. The DK, for instance, has a mana potion and a mana stone. Start firing those level 2 coils at the Demon Hunter, and eventually it will die. The Demon Hunter will have to leave. I think we're going to see a portal here, a coil here, if the DK can get near the Demon Hunter. So the Demon Hunter running away there, and Elky is also expanding again at 2 o'clock. So he's doing nothing but ancients here. I think this is kinda... well, I just don't think it's that good, to be honest. Strange. So finally Nightmare's got a meat wagon. And we're going to see his Keeper of the Grove die, I think. Coil, Nova. So Elky just feeding Nightmare experience there. Now we're going to see Nightmare should be getting more meat wagons, but for some reason he isn't training a second one. The good thing about meat wagons is they are a very, very good siege weapon. Have very, very good damage, as say compared to Ballista, much, much better. And also their upgrades are also in the natural line to ghouls as well, so they are very good siege weapons indeed. So Elky has got his second expansion up and running. And strangely enough, Elky is still doing all those engines even though he knows that Nightmare has a meat wagon and can get many more. But Nightmare thinks he has dealt with it, so he's not building further meat wagons. Well, as you can see here, the unexpected can work pretty well if your opponent is not aware of what you're doing. Because this is easily counterable. I guess it's a shock factor and unfamiliarity with the strategy that is making it even work just a little bit. And as you can see, it's quite a long game, so I guess it works fairly well. 3 ancients of lore now, so finally Elky is getting some lores, and he will probably be doing either bears or dryads. He's upgrading to Tree of Eternity, so I guess he's going to be doing some bears. So Elky kind of heading to the top left spot. I'm guessing that Elky will be rebuilding there. But unfortunately he only has 5 ghouls and that's not going to do much. But at least he can target those lures and annoy Elky somewhat. So Elky cancels all the lures, realising they will all die. And now Elky is sending those ancients back to try and protect his expansion, which is now totally unprotected. He's also sending his Keeper of the Grove and Demon Hunter back. Keeper of the Grove will get off an entangle, and the Demon Hunter will, well, I guess it will do immolation if it has it. Keeper of the Grove dies instantly. There's no way a Keeper of the Grove can remain alive versus Nova and Coil. So immolation, I think we're going to see this Demon Hunter die. No, it has a portal, so it will portal away. There we go. And now we're just seeing, well, that's a strange Dark Ritual there. He was doing a Dark Ritual, I guess, to try and Nova those wisps, but Elky just put them back on goal. Now there's not much chance of killing this expansion, so Nightmare should just leave right now. So he's doing the right thing, he's retreating, there's no way you can do anything versus 7 Ancients. So I think we're going to see the Demon Hunter die this time. Just needs to... Oh, the Lick is going to die! Damn. But we're going to see the Demon Hunter die as well. Good game. So level 4 Demon Hunter for level 3 Lick, obviously Nightmare came out better. So we can see the lores have finally finished at the 12 o'clock position. He's doing all Druid of the Claws. Now Druid of the Claws are very weak versus an undead player who has any idea you're doing them, because he will just get 2 Temple of the Dams and build, well, some Banshees, like 6 Banshees, and then possess your Druid of the Claws. So Elky is taking a huge risk by just doing all Druid of the Claws. And so we're going to see the Keeper of the Grove die yet again. Bye bye. So that Keeper of the Grove absolutely doing nothing to help Elky, it's just feeding him experience. So Elky should just stop rebuilding that Keeper of the Grove because it is pretty useless. It's definitely useless alone. It might be useful if you've got a bigger army, you know, like fighting with a Demon Hunter, like 7 Druid of the Claws, etc. But not just alone like that, running around, because it just dies too quickly to Novas and Coils. So here's more